Hello again. I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, God, Kirsty, you've done two videos in one day. Take a break. Like, just slow down, girl, because you've not done one in about 3 months and now you're doing two in a day. What has got into you? And that would be a very fair thought. But what I have come on to do tonight is because it's a Saturday night and I have nothing better to do with my time in lockdown, is to talk a little bit about something that I can't believe I've never actually really spoken or addressed it directly before, certainly not in a video. And that is about not drinking and the societal pressures of drinking, the drink culture in the UK, and how that feels when you have a liver problem or a liver condition and therefore can't drink. Um, and how, in particular, that relates when you are a young person. And this all came about because tonight I was sitting down having my fish supper down at the beach in my car on my own. Well, my family were like in the other car. And I got a message to say, oh, there'd been a comment on one of the blog posts that I had put up on my blog. And it was basically this young girl, young lady who has had a AIH and for a number of years, and she's going to start university this semester, this September. And she was basically asking what my thoughts are and how I dealt with it. So hello, if you're watching, Eve, I think your name is. Hi, thank you very much for commenting and raising something that is very important and something that I can't believe I've not spoken about before. So I think if we roll back in time, when I started university aged 18, I didn't know that I had liver disease. I didn't know that I wasn't meant to drink and I wasn't on any medication. So for the first and second year of university, I drank not to any large amount. I didn't drink before university at all, really. And then at university, I never ever got to the stage where I couldn't remember what had happened the previous night, or I was sick through drinking too much. I was never a big drinker. I would say, on a night out, I would maybe have 3 vodka and lemonades, or some shots or something like that, but never a massive drinker, which is just as well, really. And yeah, I then obviously found out that I had liver cirrhosis in my third year of university. In Scotland, we have 4 years, so that was not quite my last year, but yeah. So, what would be my advice to somebody who is starting university and has a liver condition? So, I think what I would say is it's probably going to be quite difficult, and that's not that don't be put off by that. I think that looking back on my memories of it, and bearing in mind this was about 10 years ago, so things might have changed in the way that young people are nowadays, but if they weren't, if they hadn't changed, then yeah, there was a lot of drinking games, a lot of the expectation is basically during Freshers Week that you're going out more or less every night. And that was something that I didn't really feel very comfortable with anyway, because I wasn't particularly into going out or night clubbing or anything like that. The place I had come from doesn't have any nightclubs, or it does now, but it didn't back then. So I hadn't really been clubbing at all until I moved to Edinburgh for university. And yeah, I can imagine that it will be, if you're in a group of people who are drinking and you're playing Ring of Fire or Never Have I Ever, and you're not drinking, then yeah, I think that will be quite difficult to sort of not be a part of. But I would say that in my own experience, from telling people why I don't drink, I think you could either do one of two ways. You can either just be direct with them and be honest and say, I have a liver condition. And sometimes I try and make a little bit light of it, because when you say that to somebody, oh, why, if they ask, why aren't you drinking? Like, oh, I've got a liver condition. It sometimes like goes down like a lead balloon and they don't know how to react, and it can make people uncomfortable. And that's not your fault. But I think that the way I've learned to deal with it is to sort of be okay with it myself and not style it as a joke, but be put it across in a more light-hearted way. So, I would say maybe like, oh, yeah, no, I don't drink. I've got a really dodgy liver, so I take meds for it and stuff, and better off not drinking. Um, and then that's fine. They move on. Like most people probably won't ask you much more about it, and if they do, then I think that's quite good because it's an opportunity to educate them on your condition, and that's always a good thing. But most people you'll find will probably just stop asking you, and if they think you're weird for being like that, then that's honestly their problem. And I think that's something that I have learned is that if someone has a problem or an issue with me not drinking, that is a reflection of them and not me. I have felt sometimes, there has been a very small minority of people who just cannot accept that I don't drink and will push, even if I say, oh, I've got a liver condition, they're like, yeah, but surely like you can have some drink. Be like, no, I can't. Like, I will probably, I'll not keel over and die if I have a drink, but my liver is, really quite damaged and I don't want to damage it anymore. And they'll be like, oh, but surely, and that mentality, I just don't have time for. So I would just cut the conversation there and I wouldn't give that person any more of my time because it's my choice and it's my body. So just get lost. But that I think is a problem that they have, very much they have. And this is something that, it opens up the wider issue, like drinking as a culture in the UK. I think that there's so much emphasis put on drinking and how cool it is and how every night out, every good night out is you've got to be drinking. And it's just rubbish. Like, I honestly don't feel personally that I have missed out on having fun because I don't drink. Absolutely not. I've missed out on like being out too late when I don't really want to be out or going out to dingy nightclubs and stuff. Yeah, but is that a loss? No, not to me anyway. But that's something that I can say now. I'm a bit older. I'm 28. I'm not 18, and I think that, I mean, I dare say if you have lived with a liver condition since you were much younger, that you are probably more mature than your average 18-year-old anyway. But I hope that there is it doesn't you're sort of mature enough to realize that if you're feeling left out, that's kind of not your problem, it's their problem. But it's easier said than done. And if you're surrounded by people who are drinking, then yeah, you do feel quite left out. But having said that, I know a lot of people at university who just chose not to drink because they just didn't, and that was their thing. Like they just, it's like, I just don't drink. You could also, if you didn't want to be honest with people, because obviously talking about your health is quite a personal thing and not everyone wants to do that, you could just say you're allergic to drink. That is a thing. Just say, oh yeah, like, oh, this starts spewing when I drink, like I just can't take it. And people should be fine with that. And if they're not fine with that, then maybe they're not the friends that you need. And you will find, it might take you a bit longer, but you will find in university that group of people, that niche group of people who you can have fun with and not be drinking. And yeah, it is difficult because most events at university, or certainly when I was there, did involve going out and drinking. But that's not to say you can't do them. You just don't drink, or you just have a Coke instead of a Coke and vodka. Like no one's really going to notice because everyone else is too self-conscious and worried about what they look like, that they'll probably not even notice that you're not drinking. So I think that what I'm trying to say in a short way is that it's don't think of it as a problem. It probably will seem like a big deal to you, but that will be your thing. You won't need alcohol. You don't drink, and that's all my friends now know that I don't drink. I'm like Kirsty, the friend that doesn't drink, so they don't think anything less of me. If anything, I think it's made me a stronger person because it's more like I know who I am. I know that people can't change that about me. And that's, yeah, that it sounds really rubbish, but it honestly makes you a stronger person, I think. And I also think that you get the bonus of not having hangovers, not spending all your money on drink, not feeling rubbish the next day, not doing things that you regret, uh, having better skin overall, not putting on weight. Like, I mean, I know that if we're on steroids, and yeah, probably put on weight and have other problems that your normal person normal wouldn't have. But the pros of not drinking are there is a lot. And I think as well, if you're around people who are drinking, not to excess, but if they're having fun and there's a nice mood, then you can definitely 100% pick up on that mood, and enjoy yourself too. There's absolutely no reason why you can't enjoy yourself without drink, and I think that's a really important lesson that a lot of people never actually learn. And I think when you don't drink, you realize that a lot of people use drink as a crutch, um, to support them in social situations. So if you're able to, put yourself out there, be confident, be happy, and accept who you are, and that is, you have a liver condition and you can't drink, then that is something that, is quite a remarkable achievement for someone who's quite young. Because, like I say, it takes people many years and sometimes some people don't even ever get to that stage of self-acceptance. So yeah, just you keep doing your own thing. Don't feel like you ever need to be pressured to take drink. Don't let anybody ever pressure you into taking a drink. Your health is so much more important. um and I would just be honest with people, because I think people will appreciate that honesty. And like I say, if they don't, if they, try and pressure you or don't accept you for who you are, then it might be quite difficult. But I think you need to find better friends, um, and people who will understand that situation. And there'll be loads of people that you'll meet at university as well. So you'll definitely find some friends who will support you in that. So yeah, it's a big step. It's exciting. I hope you have a lovely time when you go to university, and don't let not drinking be the biggest thing that you worry about or that defines you. But I have to say, it is something that I have personally struggled with, and it's only now that I'm 28. I'm 27, actually. I'm not 28 yet. And I know that's not a grand old age, but it does take time to get used to it. But I think it gets easier as you get older as well, if that's any consolation. But yeah, enjoy uni. Well done for getting there, and I hope you have lots and lots of fun. Another thing, I guess, that kind of goes off the side of this is like dating and things like that. So I have found that basically to every guy that I've dated, when I say, oh, I don't drink, because obviously if you're going out for a meal, then you're not drinking, and they'll be like, oh, any reason why? And I just tell them, like, yeah, I got a dodgy liver, like, I just avoid drink. I've not drunk since I was 20. Or and they're just like, oh, right, okay, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. That's it. End of. People honestly, like, decent people don't care. And if they do care, then, like I say, it's their problem. So I hope that gives you a little bit of positivity, and it also addresses my thoughts on how to deal with somebody who is asking why you're not drinking and you have liver disease. Have a nice night.